Oliver, I guess let's just talk a little bit about going to the Bahamas and the advantage that you feel like it gives your team at this point in time.
Well, probably the biggest advantage is the fact that we get 10 days of practice before we go over there to play 2 games. 2 games is not an awful lot. The 10 days of practice, particularly with the freshmen who have never been a part of our system, that to me is huge, and we can find out some things about certain offenses, certain defenses. Certainly we can take stock of the returning players, how much they've improved, what kind of shape they get back, and so on and so forth. And we can start to build that ever-important chemistry. Being together for 10 days down there in a nice place, hanging out together for 72 hours, that's an opportunity for us to come a little closer together as a team.
Now, for folks that may not know, you only get to do this once every 4 years, right?
Well, that's right, and we planned this about 3 years ago with the idea that we'd have an experienced team coming back, but also we knew we'd be young, particularly at the point guard position, so it gives us an opportunity to look at that position, maybe start to answer some questions about that position, yet at the same time to really build on what we think is a big strength of this team, and that's experience.
And I know that when you were at Dayton, you had a 6'11" kid that I believe was a sophomore when you went on a trip like this. You started him every game, and he actually worked his way into your starting lineup from there on out. This is an opportunity maybe for somebody to go down there and prove a point to you and the coaching staff.
Well, there's no question about it. I mean, we're evaluating and watching and looking, and certainly when you look at the point guard position, for example, we're looking for some answers there. But any player has an opportunity over this 10-day stretch of practices and in a couple of games to show us that he ought to be a part of our plan.
All right, so what have you learned so far in practice from your kids? I mean, what have been the pleasant surprises, and what have has maybe opened your eyes a little bit to go, uh-oh?
Well, not really a lot of surprises. We've got an awful lot of players back. We only lose 1 scholarship player. Probably, if I were to say anything in terms of surprise, it would be that the 3 freshmen all appear to be really competing, not taking a step back, and they're picking up things pretty quickly. So that's nice to see that the new players in your program are fitting in so far, so good.
All right, so what is the schedule in the Bahamas? Take us through that, if you would, please.
We get down there at 11 o'clock tomorrow night on a Friday night. And the next day, we'll give the kids an awful lot of free time during the day. We play at 8 o'clock. So we'll let them go to the theme parks and the water parks and the beach and that kind of thing. Even on a normal situation, we probably wouldn't do that, but they are, after all, in the Bahamas, so we want them to enjoy it a little bit, weather permitting.
Right.
And then we play. We'll go to bed right after that because it'll be late, and we'll do the same thing the next day in terms of on Paradise Island there, allowing them to have some free time and experience the culture. And then we'll play again on Sunday night. We're up at 5:45 the next day and on our way back here to Clemson, and be here in time to watch that great football game on Labor Day night.